Well, just before the break, we spoke about just how iconic and historic this weekend certainly will be for the Inkatha Freedom Party as they look to elect new leadership for the party. We take you straight to Ulundi now, where our reporter Simphiwe Makhanya is standing by with more from that, and he's going to be chatting to Inkatha Freedom Party leader Mangosuthu Buthelezi. This will be one of his last interviews he will do as IFP president. Simphiwe, good afternoon to you there. Why don't you just share a few more sentiments and a few more thoughts there?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Arabile, and good afternoon to our viewers at home. We are coming to you live from Ulundi. This is where the Inkatha Freedom Party will be holding its historic elective conference. Historic in a sense that its founding president, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, will be stepping down after this conference. But with me to tell us more about the IFP, about the journey of the IFP, I'm joined by Inkosi Mangosuthu Buthelezi, the IFP leader. Shenge, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the program.
Thanks very much.
44 years later, how has the journey been? 44 years later, Shenge, how has the journey been as the leader of the party?
It has been a very difficult journey, very challenging journey, but in fact a journey which I think I can really thank God that it's coming to an end.
You have taken a decision, Shenge, that you are officially now stepping down after leading the party for 44 years. What informed that decision this time around?
Actually, I wanted to retire many years ago. And actually, in the records of all the media houses, I mean, you'll find records that, you know, as long ago as 2009, I wanted to retire. But there were challenging things in the party, and the party then requested me to continue because there were critical challenges which they felt that we should tackle together with me leading the party.
Looking at the current state of the party now, are you happy with the current state of the party?
Well, I'm quite happy because of the 2019 election, because I think the results indicated beyond any doubt that the IFP is still alive and that people in South Africa still need it. Because even in this province, we return to our position as an opposition party. So,
Shenge, you say the journey has not been easy, and everyone knows that because the party has had quite a number of challenges in terms of it losing some of its very senior members, like Umama Unkoskazi Kamagwaza Msebi, forming the NFP. How did that affect the party?
I think that probably that was the biggest challenge, because you see, Comrade Zanele Makwaza Msebi was our national chairperson, who had actually identified her as our candidate for the premiership. We had full confidence in her, but was unfortunately courted by the ruling party and defected in a most unexpected, you know, situation, because each time we raised the issue when there were rumors, he would cry buckets and buckets of crocodile tears, indicating that, you know, in fact it was false, and yet it was true. And the funny thing, of course, is that our former president, Mr. Zuma, invited me to King's House, which is now Dube House in Durban, the official president's house, and I was accompanied by Mr. Zakele Kumalo. When I got there that evening, I was surprised, because he said to me, he was suggesting that there were people now who were criticizing me and so on, and that he thinks it will sort of tarnish my legacy, and therefore he suggested to me that in order to protect my legacy, I should step down. So I said to Msholozi, thanks very much, because even though I belong to a different party, I regard you as the father of the country, and I don't resent you, you know, expressing your opinion about this matter. But however, some of the leaders of the ANC at the time, such as Mr. Tokyolo Suhwale, had already published in the media that we as IFP ill-treated women you know. And some of the women in the province had actually been singing songs saying in isiZulu, what kind of man I am, who fears women, and all that. I said there were all those things. I remember the president had been out of the country, so he said that he didn't know anything about that. So I said, well, I would welcome your advice, but what about all these?
Another issue, Shenge, that is facing the IFP has been the issue of its succession plan. You know, you founded the party 44 years ago. You have been at the helm of the party for all these years. The question perhaps that most people would want to understand is, do you have a clear succession plan, or did you have a clear succession plan as to who will take over after?
Well, Makhanya was my protege. I mean, that is a good example for you, because I regarded her as my protege. There were others too who were my proteges, who had been actually gone through the party and if you like, through my hands, whom I were expected to make good leaders.
Okay, Shenge, let us hold that thought for now, because we will be going for a quick ad break, but that's where we leave it for our SABC2 viewers. The conversation continues after this ad break on Channel 404.